Okay, July 28th, 2024, here at Spades Poker House in Webster, Texas for my 10th session since getting back into it this July. This will be my 10th session of July, and I anticipate to have 11 sessions. Currently sitting on 40 hours, and I'll probably wrap up at around 52 or 53. But yeah, excited to play today. Sunday's usually a good day here at Spades, Sunday afternoon. It looks like the PLO or ROE game is about to go off. There are 8 people on the wait list, but a game hasn't started yet. So my hunch is that all of those people aren't quite here yet. But as more arrive, including myself, I'm sure the game will get started soon. So I anticipate a little bit of Hold'em and then hopefully get on the ROE/PLO table, which I'm more comfortable with as soon as possible. So let's get in there. Okay, quick update. Because it's hot outside and I'm wearing joggers like a moron. I won a 4-way all-in pre-flop. I had ace, 7-9 single suited. 3 other guys got it in with much worse. I'm always getting it in with aces there. And the run out was solid, 5-6, 5-10, ace. I was ahead the whole time in between all 4 hands. Nobody had a 5. Nobody had like a set of 10s or anything, so I didn't really need the ace. I just needed a clean river, but the ace came anyway and locked it up for me. So in for 500, currently sitting in front of like 1330, so up 830 in the first, like, I'd say hour and a half. We were on Hold'em for a little bit and went up 50 there, and then had about 500 going into the big hand that I won. Nice for aces to survive a 4-way all-in. We will take that every time because that's not going to happen every time. So when it does, we're grateful. So solid start. Couldn't hope for a better start, and fingers crossed that it keeps going this way. Characters at the table. Seat 2 is a regular here. I believe he's a Galveston native. That's the beach town down here. But that's where he's from, and this room is pretty close to Galveston. I think a bunch of people do come here from Galveston. It's about 20-25 minutes south of here in Webster. So he's from that crowd. He is a solid player. He has a lot of action on some sports games today, so that sometimes will make or break a person's poker session, or certainly make them play differently. But I'm not sure if that's the case with him or not. He may just be pretty immune to bad beats in sports and not really give a shit. But yeah, like I said, great start, and we will keep the interesting stories coming in case, if they do arrive. But so far, pretty straightforward table. A couple of fun players, but nobody's doing anything too crazy yet. All right, thanks for tuning in once again. Throw me a like and a subscribe if you like the content so far. But yeah, for now, heading back in. All right, update number 2 here at Spades on the 28th of July, 2024. Great session so far. We just paid for our next 7 hours out of our stack, but we're still up 625. I acknowledge that it really doesn't matter whether I take it out of my stack or not, like paying for time down here with the time membership Cardrooms in Texas, but it feels better when the time just comes straight out of your stack and you're still up in your session, rather than, oh, you're broke in your session, and then the next time you have to come back in, you're paying us $72 for your next 7 hours, and then plus your $10 entry fee. So, but again, it truly doesn't matter. Just watching the Olympics, really enjoying some of these events. You know, there was this French female gymnast who is underperforming. She's like the main gymnast, the Simone Biles of France is what I was gathering, but she has been underperforming in multiple events. And what kind of emotional toll does that take on you? I consider myself pretty stoic. I don't know what kind of breathing routines or anything like that would save me from striking out in front of my country in the Olympics. Pretty brutal, but just kind of thinking about, you know, if I can deal with the swings in poker just fine. God forbid I ever feel like I let down my country. I don't know what I I don't know what I would do. But yeah, good session so far, up 625, no big hands other than the holding up with aces 4 ways, just kind of chilling. It's still a good table, so we're gonna keep grinding. Okay, so wrapping up that session, session number 10, we are in the green 270 today. We paid $10 to get in. We bought in for 500. We paid for time from our stack, and our stack was 780 when we wrapped up. So a $280 win on the poker table, minus 10 for our entry to spades. It's a $10 entry fee. So that'll leave us 270 in the green today. Our July total so far, with one more session to go, is $3,031. Divided by 44.5 hours, that's going to be $68.11 an hour for July, which is a great win rate. I will take it every day of the week. Of course, it doesn't work like that, but grateful for it to have happened this month, and feeling like I'm playing well also. There are some certain spots that I was underplaying tonight. For example, I should have got a queen high flush draw and a gut shot in a 3-way pot, where I instead elected to fold after somebody potted with a set. I just need to be getting it in there, I think. It's not one of those spots where I need to be making a fold just because I have a gut shot and not the nut flush draw. Just against these two characters, my hand is just a little too strong, even 3-way, to fold in that spot. So yeah, just something to think about for next time I am involved in a pot and have a heavy draw. Something I do is make exploitative folds in these live games. I think it's really important to have exploitative folds in your back pocket. I don't want to go too deep into detail on that, but that was not one of the spots where I needed to be doing that, I believe. So again, just something to think about. As I was racking up, Seat 2 mentioned that he had seen me there a lot, whereas usually I'm here at Spades like once every 6 months, which is true. I live on the north side of Houston now, which is about 45 minutes from here. But my partner lives about 10 minutes from the room. So I'm spending a lot more time down in South Houston, which explains my increased time at Spades. Also, they have a ROE game that pops off more than other poker rooms. It's been mostly just PLO, like PLO only games in like my past 3 sessions. Prior to that though, there was ROE almost every night that I went, and I was going on arbitrary nights. A dealer also told me that ROE runs nightly, but obviously that isn't the case. It might have been a couple weeks ago, but who knows. I really just like the ROE game though, because I feel like Hold'em players in general are gonna misplay their PLO hands, and then PLO players might get a little crazy with their Hold'em hands, and we can take advantage of that. Anyway, though, we're excited to play PLO only anyway. That's what we've been doing. That's what I've been doing for the past, 2 years now. So we're comfortable playing PLO. It's all good. But yeah, do prefer ROE at this point in my career here, getting started back up after a break. Yeah, Seat 2 noticed that I had been putting in a little more time here than usual, so I explained that to him. Everybody seems friendly and chill, and I'm happy to keep it that way. One mistake I made when I was grinding up at Spring for the past 2 years, Texas Card House Spring, is that I put too much emphasis on making friends with people at the room. That is, like, people who I consider to be competent, solid players. And that's a huge mistake. And even more embarrassingly, I really cared that the good players or competent players at Spring also thought the same of me. And that's a horrible waste of your energy to be like trying to impress some like excellent poker players. And that's something that I wanted to emphasize in my return to poker, is that at this room, I'm not here to make friends ultimately. Who's friendlier at the table than me? Very few. I love table talk. I love being social. But I was trying to curate relationships in Spring in a way that I don't plan on doing now. That was a real oversight on my end up in Spring, just trying to make friends with these good players. It's great to have a little, it's great to have some winning players in your back pocket to text and go through hands with, to be sure. But you shouldn't be emphasizing like, oh, I hope this guy thinks I'm good, which is the mentality that I had for a while playing at Spring. So we ditched that when we started to grind here, and I don't plan on emphasizing that whatsoever. Now, if I become friends with one of these guys off the table, like, you know, we're playing pickleball, that's one thing, but I'm not gonna sit there and, you know, think about, oh, does XYZ think, does this guy who's clearly a winning player, does he think I'm good too? Like, you need to be okay with looking dumb at the poker table, I feel. And that's just kind of part of it, just letting go of like what the hell people think of you. So anyway, just focusing on that as well as emphasizing a few other things as we get back into it. But yeah, up $3,000 after the first 10 sessions. So we're happy about that, no doubt about it. We will take a great month back. And just with just one more session to go, we will certainly be positive. But yeah, until then, I think that'll be Tuesday. So July 30th will be the next session. Excited to get back into it. But until then, I am going to go back up to North Houston and rest up for the work week. So thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you for watching. And here's to a great month.